Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So it's been a while since I've made a video, an art video, so please bear with me as I try to get back on the wagon. I missed you guys. I appreciate all your messages and emails as always. You guys always make me feel so loved and missed. So one of the things that I have been getting a lot of questions for, a lot of people are finding my channel, is of course mixed media, and a lot of beginners mixed media. People just putting their toes into the pond, as it, as you say, water, I guess. So we're gonna start today with just a basic mixed media background. It's one of my favorite things to do. Please excuse the shadows. I'm trying to get back into it here. So what we're going to do is start with this is a piece of paper. This is mixed media paper. Now, I love to do these with watercolor paper and that kind of thing, because that can really become your painting. This can as well, but it's going to be very flimsy. You would have to probably glue it to a substrate with like a canvas or piece of wood. But I'm just going to go for a basic background on how to, how I love to start it and how to get the minimal, not ingredients, I'm like I'm cooking, products to, get a good kind of thing going. So, like I said, basic piece of paper, and we're going to start mixing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take white, and you wouldn't think that you're going to start with white on a background that's white already, but we are. And if you're going to put a painting, I love to paint girls and different things on here. If you are going to paint anything like that on top, kind of picture it in your mind. I always know I like to use a side, sometimes the middle, but I am a side kind of girl, just off to the side. So once I get my colors going, I don't want to put a lot of detail into the middle, because first of all, it's going to be wasted, and second of all, if I use texture or anything like that, which I won't in this one, but then I got to worry about bumps, and I will say I'm going to put it here, and then I do everything, and then I'm like, nope, want to put it here where of course all the texture is and that kind of thing. So okay, so we have some white down. I'm going to take some red, and just a little bit. I'm gonna, am I? oh my God, yeah, okay. A little bit of red right there we're gonna start with. And what we're gonna do is mix it. And you can wet your brush a little bit, because but you can use gel medium to mix it. And I'm gonna just take it over here. And when I look at it, I'm like, you know what? I want it a little lighter. So let's go white. Let's go white. My nephew was here. I'm going to put up a video of my nephew doing art. Bless his heart. He tried so bad. He just wants to be a YouTuber. And so I just have to edit a few things in it. But he did. And I told him I'd put it up. So, if you see that video come up, I'd appreciate you giving it some love. So he's 8. And he's so sweet. And I like to encourage that as much as I can. He was here the other day, and I'm going to have him come up another day. He just loves getting in here and looking at all the stuff. Okay, so you see what we did here. We have white, we have pink, and we will have some red. Now, you may look at this and think to yourself, I want it even lighter, that pink. And what color can we use to make something pop? And I think I might put purple. Well, purple would be with pink. How about some blue? Like a cooler color. Yeah. Or orange. I would use a little bit of orange. But you see here, this is all you're doing. You're taking your white and your red. Just to make it a little bit lighter in areas. Maybe you want it you know, I like this. I don't know. I like the shifts in it. I don't know if you could see. I'll show you. Now, I'm not going to take this whole thing later. I'm just going to stick there. Okay. But you see here how it's like, like you have like different, I like that. Will I cover over it? Probably, but right now I like it. So that's where I'm at. Really delightful, right? A mess, but again, we're just doing a background, and I'm just showing you a few different techniques that you can use. Of course, there's a million techniques you can use, but this is what we're doing today. So what do I want to do next? Well, I think what I'm going to do is get some stamps, and I'm going to use very limited stamps. I'm going to use my favorite. I use these all the time for texture, and I'm going to use gray. Now, sometimes I love to use black. You could use red. You can use whatever you want. I'm just going to use some Adirondack slate, and I'm going to tell you, this is permanent. This is from Ranger. I also love StazOn. If you only have watercolor ones, you know, ones that are lifted by water and all, it's okay. Don't fret. Don't get yourself so upset that you can't do any of this, because you can. So many of you write me and say, oh no, I have only water soluble this. Water. It's okay. This is all going to be delightful. And then I'm going to show you a few things I see on here already that I love. And let me show you. Show you up close. See that red? Look at that, how gorge, right? Oh, I love that. I couldn't have done that on purpose if I tried. And then I love that white right there. Do you see how it I'm sorry for the shadows. Do you see how the white on the right hand side, like it looks like it's sweeping? And then I love this. There's some texture there, and I didn't even do anything yet. As well as there's texture on here. So it all depends, you know. But I'm going to take some of this gray. If you do not have ink pads, use paint. Slap some paint down. I'll show you. I'll do one when I'm done here. So I'm going to just stamp in here. Sometimes I like to do this and stamp it the other way. It depends. I'm going to try to avoid the areas that I like, but if I don't, I don't. And I don't like to necessarily always give a full stamp. If you know, oh, my hands have been really bad lately. So, and that's another reason I really haven't done videos, because I'm kind of not embarrassed, but it's like things like that happen when I'm cooking and stuff like that, and it's just like, come on, you know. So that's it. I'm only dipping it once, and I can keep going until all the ink's gone, because a lot of it's going to be covered. It's just the main, you know, just little things like that. And you definitely can use different colors. You don't have to use gray. I've used bright color. You use what you got. That's my thing. And listen, I know, you know, a lot of times when I do these, I get so many messages. Oh, so-and-so says you don't do that. So-and-so says you do this. So-and-so says this. Listen, this is how I do it. If you want so-and-so's, then go do so-and-so's. Nobody says that you have to do mine, or, you know, whatever. Everybody has their own gig. Everybody does things differently. This is how I've been doing it for, God, 15, 20 years. And it's just how I'm going to keep doing it. And maybe take a piece of it and use it in yours, and then a piece of so-and-so's. I don't sit and compare myself or that kind of thing, because this is one thing that I do love to do. And you can see I'm kind of, you know, not hitting here. But I might want to put my purse in here. I might want to put it here. Now, here's the dilemma. I have this piece that I love and this piece that I love. So which one am I going to do, right? But, you know, I'm not avoiding that for any reason. I'm just, okay, so let me show you. Oh, no, I want to get, this is some script. Let me tell you, if you go to the grocery store, if you go to the store, can you tell I'm hungry? And you're looking for stamps, and you only have money for certain, because sometimes I have to give myself a $10 limit a week or month even, usually a month, let's face it, or $20, whatever you have is your limit. I always suggest getting a script, because it can do so much and give you so many different looks. Let's just say I go here, and it's just some words. It doesn't mean anything, these words, to me. I think these are thankfulness, like that's the part of it. But I can't really read much of it. It's just the look of the script, if you are picking up what I'm putting down, which right now I'm putting down words. And you know, one time I'm going to go like that. But right now, I'm just, because again, I'm going to be going over all this with color and scribbles and paint. Okay, so do you see why I picked gray? I picked gray or slate because it's not like black that's like ba-boom in your face, and it's not like beige where you can barely see it. Now, I love that look, and if I had a lighter color right now, I'd probably use it as well. Maybe you have a darker color where you're like wanting to put a little, you know, right there, a little something, right? Like a little darker. So it all depends on what you're going for. This is, and I'm going to show you. Now, my paint is not completely dry. It is damp. I did not hit it with my heat gun. Of course you can, but I did not, and that's okay. I'm going to show you why. When I do that, you can see here how it melts in almost, where you can see like on the white, you can see it much more crisp. But when it's, and I'm not saying it's soaking wet, I'm saying it's, you know, it's dry, but not really dry. And you can see it soaks, can you see? It soaks in. Get Dave to help me out here with all the lighting and all again. So when my nephew was here, he kind of came and dragged this and pulled that and to get it in, you know, his vibe. So you have to excuse me. Okay, so I'm not going to use the paint yet. I'll show you why, and I'll show you what we'll do next. Okay, I'm going to put make sure I put my lid on because I'm known for not. All right, so now I want to take, oh, what do I want? What do I want? I don't know if I have my charcoal pencil. Is this my charcoal pen? I love working in charcoal. This is a sketching pencil. Trying to see what I got going here. Okay, here is my wash. This is from Derwent. Derwent Sketching, and it's a medium wash in 4B. What that means is it's water soluble. So this is not. This is just a pencil. Now, you don't need to use this, but I'll tell you what you can use in place, which I don't have here, is water soluble, like watercolor pencils or something like that, your Neo Color 2s, whatever you have. So we're going to do two different things. So right now, I'm going to look at it, and we're going to kind of go like this, down into that white. And this is regular. This is not coming off. This is, you know, regular pencil. Just going to add some marks. I know I don't want to get in here, but what I'm going to do is, where these are separated a little bit, I might add a little bit of darkness. And then I'll take my medium wash and take it in here. And I can even go over. And I'm going to kind of, see, that's why I said I'm going to ruin it, but that's all right. That's what mixed media is. You can't love certain parts because you'll lose it. Now I'm going to get a different brush. Excuse my arm. I'm going to wet it. And let's see what happens. Brush is a little bit of too wet, just dab it off. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah. And it just fades out. Just keep taking it. Oh, I love it. Dab it off a little bit just so it's not too much. Oh, we're gonna have to use these for drips later too. And you don't have to wet it. You don't have to wet it. The more you scrub, just like any water soluble pencil or crayon or whatever. And like I said, you can use them. And you can even go in and dab it with a paper towel or rag if you don't necessarily like it. I just like these marks. Now this is pencil, so this, but I have a little bit of, what do you call it? The sketching one. The Derwent Sketching. I'm going to go in here and just lighten that up. Bring that down. You see how I'm just bringing it down? Oh yeah. Like I said, no big deal. Let's do. You can write, you know, words. I always encourage whatever you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling negative or in a bad place or something like that. You know, write those down. We want to get rid of them. And then we can just leave them because they'll be covered. So, like I said, do your thing. Do whatever you want. Because we're going to be getting into more paint and... Oh, yeah, look at that. Now watch. Let's do it this way. So you can see it. Oh, yes. Oh, my favorite things to do. Look at that. I mean, look at that. And I've been practicing a lot, like abstract and stuff like that, trying to get my brain, I'm going to put tons here, trying to get my brain to understand abstract, because my brain goes to, oh, that's a great background. And I have to separate the two. I have to, you know what I mean? So I've been really working on that, because I, like, a lot of the people would leave it like this and say, oh, she done. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking hypothetically, but I have to get to that point of it being okay. Now, I could just squirt this. That's what she said, but I could just squirt this and there we go. And see how, like, right here you get that darkness around it? I love that. Will it stay? I don't know. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So, I'm happy with that. Do I want this over here? Maybe I should do it here and bring it back. All right, I'm just going to do one. Okay, here we go. And then when I'm done with this, I'm going to let it dry, and then I will come back and we'll do one more level just to start the background. Now, this is a lighter one because the paint's still a little bit wet, so I can go in and really make it dark up here. Okay. And you want to watch, because like I'm doing this on mixed media paper, but you know, watercolor paper or whatever, you don't want to go too deep where it smears, or where it tears rather. So let's do it this way. Yeah. Camel. Oh, we got several shades here. Let me just give it a bang. And you can, oh, look at that, how awesome that looks with all those drips. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oh, I love it. I'm going to let this dry, and then I will be back, and we will move on to the next pot. Okay, so we're dry. So now what I'm going to do is I found this in a magazine, and I'm going to take some Mod Podge, or you could use a glue stick, whatever you have. This is just regular Mod Podge matte. I am just going to put it on the back. A lot of people say this makes it sticky and tacky if you use it over your stuff, and here's what I'm going to tell you. I've been working with Mod Podge for a long time, not even just because I'm a Plaid ambassador, but I've been using it since my grandmother. I mean, it's been a long time. I'm going to put this down here. I don't know why it says put me here. And yes, sometimes it depends on how humid it is or your environment and stuff. Sometimes it's sticky, sometimes it's not. I can go through my art journals where I use it, and it is not, trying to see if I can get to a better thing here where you can see it. And it's not sticky. If it is sticky for you, there is Mod Podge paper. Use your coupon, go to Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, wherever, and buy it. It is made specifically for paper. It will not be sticky at all. Use it in your art journal, just like you would normal Mod Podge matte. I know people don't like going and buying new stuff, but that's what I suggest to you if you know you want to use it. Other people use gel medium. I mean, it depends on what you want. But I have this on here now, and there's no glue around it, because you see me, I kept wiping it. It's only underneath. And I'm doing this as well to really make sure it adheres. No matter what you use, whether you're using gel medium or, you know, whatever. So, okay, so we have that. So next one I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, well, we won't do that yet. I got my marker here to show you this. I'll show you this. Okay. So I'm going to take a little orange and I'm going to just put it here, because that's kind of where the colors I'm going on now. And I'm going to spread it out. This is my non-stick mat, but you can use it on paper or whatever. I'm going to take this, I'm going to dip it in, okay, and then I'm going to print like I would. I like to mush it around sometimes. And you see this? You got your stamp and acrylic paint. Now it's mixing with the black I have on there, and I don't care because I don't want a full print. So let me see if I can get one more. If it starts drying, one thing I suggest, spray water and then mix it, and then look at that, you get some back. So it's all the thing. Now I love this, watch, because you can barely see it in there, but it's in there. So then you just take your paper towel or whatever. Some people put them in a contain, like a thing of water sit next to them so they can clean. They like their stamps clean. Me, I really don't, but I'm just showing you. Look at that. Right? Clean, done, da-da. Look at this. And we are done. So you don't always have to have everything. You see what I'm saying? Oh, this is going to bother me. Okay, so now what I want to do is take, I'm obsessed with these lately. These are Aqua Inks from Marabou. I love inks. I love the Bombay. I love the Liquitex. I love the inks. I don't know. Plaid has so many new things coming out. They have alcohol inks and stuff like that, which I'm going to use in here. But I don't know if they have these. Let's see. So I'm going to just, and look, you don't need to follow me because, and do what I do, because I don't do things correctly all the time. I need a little brush. Let's use this one. I'm just going to use a brush like this. Nothing massive. I'm going to dip it in and just add it. And you're going to see what I'm going to do, because that's awfully bright. I'm going to wet my brush. And I'm just going to bring it down. This is just to add some more color. I can make it drip if I want. Not necessarily exactly what I'm going for, but I'm just going to, because I want it to be transparent so you can see what's underneath of it too. Right? So then I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's too much right here. So I'm just going to go dab it. I'm not, that's why you water it down, because then you're not feeling like you're wasting your product. Do you know what I mean? Now, sometimes what I like to do, and if you're really frugal, which there's nothing wrong with it, I can be very frugal as well. I like to get a little shot glass, or you can get like the plastic, you know, small ones from dollar store or where have you, and mix it in that with a little bit of water and then pull from there. But you can see here I have this real dark one where I laid it down, all these different colors. Oh, I love it. So then I'm going to take a little bit more, and I'm going to trim this out a little bit. The yellow is a little too bright, so I'm going to push that back a little bit. So remember, the darker colors push back the darker layers. You want them in the back, and then when you start the lighter layers, you see those first. So I'm just going to mute this a little bit. See how that just changes that? Well, you can't because my lights are reflecting off the glare. So sorry. Like I said, I will be fixing that. And then I'm just going to take it and keep pushing it up so it's lighter and lighter and lighter. I like to do things in 3 odd numbers, 5, it doesn't matter, 7. I'm an odd number person. I want to make sure I get this. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit more right here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And a little bit more water. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be, but you can still see underneath that, and I like that. And that'll dry in a second. Let me, and remember, look, hair dryer works too. I always say, use your heat gun. If you don't have your heat gun, use a hair dryer. If you don't have a hair dryer, go to your local Goodwill thrift store. You can get it for a couple bucks and you are good to go. Amazon sells them. I'll put a link down to one down below. If you are interested and you want to support me. Okay, so there we go for that. And I'm going to do over here, you can see I have this lighter one here with the stamp. So I'm going to try to stay away from it. I'm just going to kind of do like this. Grab my water. And kind of bring it up. I don't want to touch that necessarily, but I'll go around it. And then I'm going to just kind of, you know, the orange is there, but I don't need it so bright. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop with the orange for now. Will I pick it up again? Who knows? Now, doing this, you can see the colors mixed together, and it's like a green, like almost like an army green. This is not army green. This is called Minze, M-I-N-Z-E, again from Marabou. And I think I'm going to use this. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to make sure everything is kind of dry. And you can kind of see, I'm kind of leaving this here for me for a painting, drawing, or what have you. But I want to put something over here, and I think over here, and then just to kind of around it. And it's going to be this green for the moment. And I'm going to do the same kind of, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to move it out and down. I don't want to necessarily take those drips off because I really love them. But you can see. Now green, I want to get more colors of these so I can mix them. Green and orange would make brown, and that's why I dried it in between, because if it does mix, I'm going to get a poopy brown color. And I don't want that. So... But if I had blue and yellow and used them, I would love the way that they would mix together. You know what I mean? And really make, I know I'm going to put, let's go over this heart. You know, I know that when it mixed together, it would make a beautiful green. So then I have like a threefer, right? That's what I like to do when I'm picking up paint and all. I always say Roy G. Biv, you know, but you don't have to. I mean, to make orange, you need red and yellow. To make green, you need blue and yellow. And right there, you have all those colors right there. So, and then you pick up a white and a black, and you get the, you know, pink and different shades. So, I mean, it's a very, I'll do a video on it. Like I said, I know so many of you are just starting out, and I think it's great. Okay, so you can see. And look at that. You can still see this all underneath there, and it's gorgeous. And I will pick this up to show you. And look, I'm just doing my thing. Now I can go over this a little bit because that orange is dry now. So you see what I'm saying? No big deal. And then I can just, I end up walking around with more paint on me. And I'm going to do it, I think right here, really watered down. And you can use a bigger brush. It doesn't matter. Okay. All right. Now, what do you do if you don't have alcohol inks, you know, these kind of things, but you want a transparent color? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of paint, whatever color you have, just the teeniest little bit. I'm going to take my brush. I want it to be full of water, and I'm going to go in. And you see, you're making a watercolor almost. And this is, I know, this is, everybody's like, oh, duh, but I'm just telling you, look. And then if we go over this, you can see underneath. And I will show you that in a second. But I will do this whole section just to show you. So you can definitely do this, and it stays permanent, and it won't lift when it's dry, and all the things. If you want to make it a little bit darker, add a dot of red paint and then mix it. But look at that. Oh, it's delightful, delicious, and so much fun. So, like I said, there are a million ways to get to this point. This is all I'm going to do today because this is a long video, as it is, and to begin, you know, when you begin, it gets to be a bit much. One thing I'm going to add, and I'm going to dry this real quick, and like I said, you can direct these, you know, little puddles if you want. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to take this is a Tombow marker. And if I get it on there and I don't want it, I like to just use my finger. You could put a little bit of water if you want, you know, and just adds it, just brings it down. That's all. Like I said, if I, to follow that pattern. If I want to take this off or make it even more watercolory, look at that. Okay, if you want. I think I like those little tails and all, and I love the little squiggles. Again, you know. Okay, so let's look. See that? Let me turn it this way so you get to see this. Here's the bird. Again, you can trace him in whatever color. You can even, you know what would be cute? You could even color him in, paint him in. And then we get to the middle. Look at that. All the way down. Okay, now here is where I used that paint. Look at that. Look, transparent. Same as that. It's transparent. So use a darker orange, you get a darker, you know, transparency of that. So this is where I'm at so far. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. And like I said, I can go in with my paintbrush and lift these, you know, lift it up a little bit, smudge it a little bit. I think I'm going to leave it right now. Like I said, I don't want to make this too long, but something that I will like to do next is, you see how beautifully colored it is? I'm going to mute some of it out. I like to use like Titan Buff or a off-white. If you don't have an off-white, I'll show you what you can do. So that'll be like the next layers and stuff, and then I'll probably add a girl to it, and or something, I don't even know. You can do a heart. You don't have to do a girl. You could do a beautiful, you know, a heart. You can do Zentangle over it. But this is where we are leaving it at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to take a scan, and I'm going to scan it in. I will let you know in my next video. My website is knittinganthings.blogspot.com. It's down below. By the end of the day, this will be up there, and you can download it free, like I always do, and use it for whatever you want. If you go on my blog, again, knittinganthings.blogspot.com, you will find many freebies on there of backgrounds and stuff like that that you are free to download. You are free to print out as many times as you want and do whatever you want with them. You want to print this out and do your what you want to put on it, or collage or whatever, do it. It doesn't matter to me. And if you do, tag me, because I would love to see it. I love seeing what you guys do. So as always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. I love you guys so much. Again, thank you for all your messages and everything, and all the stuff that you guys have been sending me, and cards and everything. I appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.